Reporting that Sacramento is finalizing a trade that sends De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio.
Victor Wembanyama has a running mate now with De'Aaron Fox. It's what De'Aaron Fox wanted.
De'Aaron Fox has experience playing with another great big, formerly now playing with Domantas Sabonis. To trades these days, do not sleep on San Antonio because getting De'Aaron Fox gives Victor Wembanyama an all-star running mate for the future. Now, y'all, the Grammys were yesterday. They're ready to rock and roll. I mean,
help the Spurs snap a 5-season playoff drought. That's the longest active drought in the Western Conference.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shooting for the Stars podcast, you guys, with y'all's one and only host. Y'all guys already know, Cameron Williams, and we're still in the NBA, you guys. And I'm bringing y'all guys the latest trade between the Sacramento Kings, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Chicago Bulls regarding around superstar point guard De'Aaron Fox. And you guys, this NBA trade, and we're not even at the trade deadline yet, you guys. You know, we still have another day of that, okay? So, you know, a lot of moves have been being made. A lot of things have been happening, you guys. But, oh, my goodness. I mean, think about it, you guys. Our minds, at least mine, you know, we're all still trying to process the crazy, you know, Luka Doncic trade to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis and all that good stuff. And now this with the Sacramento Kings. I'm going to be getting all into it, you guys. But before I get into it, you know, y'all guys make sure to please hit that like, comment, and subscribe button if y'all guys are a true member of Shooting for the Stars podcast. If y'all are trying to grow with us here on Shooting for the Stars and help us reach our amazing feat and reaching 1,000 subscribers, you guys. I need y'all guys' help to do it. Can't get there without you guys. Need all y'all guys' love and support. But of course, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Let's go.
One eternity later.
So as we all know, recently, with all the ruffling and stuff going on for the past couple weeks now with the Sacramento Kings, I mean, starting off when we seen that head coach Mike Brown, you know, was fired, I want to say about 2 months ago from the Sacramento Kings after doing good work for them, after leading them. When you go back to that 2022-2023 season, man, that was a good Kings team, man. I mean, that was a real good Kings team. They played hard. They took a Golden State Warrior team to a Game 7 in the first round and almost knocked them off. But this year, the Kings got off to a 13-18 start, and after that, they said it was time for a change. It was time to let Mike Brown go. Many people thought they were doing that to, make De'Aaron Fox happy, to make him pleased, to make him want to stay. But, you know, he's been obviously giving signs and been one out of Sacramento for a long time now, and rightfully so. You know, he's a star. De'Aaron Fox, this brother right here, loves to win. One of my favorite young point guards in the game and one of the best point guards in the game, period. I mean, definitely the fastest. One would definitely say that. And he was officially traded yesterday as a Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs in the trade. It was a three-way trade. It was a three-team trade again. It was a three-team trade again, you guys. You know, I always love when we see these. You know, the Spurs received De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. Jordan McLaughlin's going to be another guard that can add another nice little good solid point guard who can come off the bench and 3-and-D guy. The Kings received Zach LaVine and Sidi Kosoko, and they received 3 first-round draft picks and 3 second-round draft picks. And then the Chicago Bulls, they received just some role players from the Spurs, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and Kevin Huerter from the Kings, and then 1 2025 first-round draft pick, you guys. And first, this is impressive right here. And before, of course, I'm going to get into the stuff. I'm going to get into, you know, what this means for the Spurs, you know, how to fit between De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama and how they're going to coexist, because they're going to do wonders on the floor. I mean, that's going to be scary. The league better watch out, seriously. I mean, the Spurs, but that's going to be scary. But before I get into how the Spurs on the court, about how this is going to fit and so forth and so on, you guys, first, I just want to stop and say, y'all guys let me know. I know some of y'all thinking the same thing again. Remember when we talked about, man, the Lakers just gave up, no offense, agent Anthony Davis and 1 first-round draft pick to get Luka Doncic? You would have thought the Mavericks could have got 10 first-round draft picks and then a superstar and then some. But Luka Doncic, as great as a talent that was, again for the Spurs, they only have to give up some role players. The Spurs still kept their first-round pick out of UConn, Stephon Castle. They still have Keldon Johnson, and they still have Devin Vassell, and they still have their big lockdown point guard and Jeremy Shohan. And you just added De'Aaron Fox. What? And this is why I say, you guys, this is why good teams stay good and why bad teams stay bad. And then the draft picks, keep in mind, guys, the San Antonio Spurs, they have they have 12 first-round draft picks up through 2031. We're in 2025. Ain't nobody looking at no 2031 right now. That's way down the road. And the few draft picks that they gave up in this trade, like that pick with that 14th protected pick for Charlotte. Man, guys, the Spurs, those weren't their draft picks. They didn't give up y'all. The Spurs, they didn't give up their draft picks. They gave up draft picks that they had acquired from other teams. So that's almost kind of like, you guys, so the Spurs, that's what make them feel even better about having to trade for De'Aaron Fox. Shoot, we're not gonna ain't like we're giving up our good picks, the picks that we got, the picks that we worked hard for. We're giving up picks that we will receive from other teams. Y'all, that's almost kind of like one of them killing them. Almost kind of like a kid and a parent, almost kind of like a parent. Kids, mama, that ice cream was good. That ice cream, the parents sit over there and the mom sit over there telling the kid, I bet that ice cream was good. Things taste a lot better when you don't pay for it, when it ain't come out your pockets. Y'all guys know what I'm talking about? Well, basically the same situation for the Spurs. If they feel a lot better because these really aren't their draft picks. They acquired these draft picks from the Hawks and the Hornets and all that good stuff. And y'all, what makes this trade even more crazier, especially for San Antonio, keep in mind the San Antonio Spurs, before they acquired De'Aaron Fox, even right now, as we speak right now, the San Antonio Spurs are currently the 12th seed in the West. They have a lot of ground to make up if they want to make a playoff run. They're the 12th seed in the West, and they're sitting at 21-26. A pretty pedestrian year. Well, now they have a chance to change all that and rewrite the script, you guys, and not this year, definitely for next year. Because let me tell y'all guys something about the San Antonio Spurs team now, what they just did, which is absolutely unprecedented. I mean, the San Antonio Spurs, not only did the Spurs keep their pick in a loaded 2025 draft class, so they're still going to have their first round pick this year, which is the one you really want. Because again, you guys, this 2025 draft class, you guys, is loaded. I mean, loaded. I mean, like some loaded cheese fries, okay? It's a lot of talent from Cooper Flagg and those boys, man. It's a lot of talent in this draft, okay? So they kept their first round draft pick, but they also still have the Hawks pick and also the Hawks draft in 2026 through 2027. That is insane right there. That's crazy to believe. And that's another thing for the Spurs. What I mentioned to you guys earlier, to keep Stephon Castle, a guy who they like, a guy who believe they can who can really grow in within their organization as a superstar caliber player. But the Spurs, you guys, not only giving up their promising young players, along with keeping the Atlanta Hawks first round picks is insane. But the Spurs, they should make the playoffs this year. And not only make it to the playoffs, but possibly make a playoff run, possibly get to the second round and so forth, okay? They're also still going to get a top 7 pick in this loaded, insane draft class thanks to the Atlanta Hawks. The Spurs are going to be, mark my words, you guys, the San Antonio Spurs, they're going to be the scariest. They're going to be one of the scariest teams, if not the scariest team in the National Basketball Association within the next 1 to 2 years. Mark my words on that. Mark my words on that. And then when you look at the fit, for the San Antonio Spurs, you guys, specifically with guarding De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, of course, we're going to talk about the pick and roll and all that good stuff, the pick and roll game, how they're going to manipulate each other. We all know how great De'Aaron Fox was at that in Sacramento when he was playing alongside who? Domantas Sabonis, another elite big man, another all-star big man who I love watching. He had tremendous success in the pick and roll game, but the De'Aaron Fox is going to be kind of like that tick-for-tack game. He's going to help the Spurs, and the Spurs are going to help him because he's expressed the desire for a long time to play alongside the next generational big. De'Aaron Fox is only 27 years old. His best basketball is still ahead of him, you guys. Make no mistake about that. And then not only that, for the San Antonio Spurs, you guys, they also think about what De'Aaron Fox provides. What's one thing about the Spurs? This is an interesting stat I'm going to put up on the screen, you guys. The San Antonio Spurs as a team, they record the 7th few drives, meaning attacking the basket, per game in the NBA. They attack the basket about 41.5 times per game, okay? Well, now that they add De'Aaron Fox to the mix, who I like to call a little slick fox, because he's real quick and he's real slithery, almost kind of like a real-life fox because they're clever. And that's what De'Aaron Fox game reminds me of. He's like a really good a really slippery fox, okay? Make no mistake about that. And he attempts the 7th most drives in the NBA with De'Aaron Fox attacking the basket at least 16 times per game. Wow. So that right there is already going to be a good mix right there, because you have Victor Wembanyama. He's good. So what that often means, De'Aaron Fox with his quickness and all that good stuff, he's going to blow by a lot of guys. So if teams don't have the personnel to cut De'Aaron Fox off or stop his drive to the basket, and if they're not able to force him to shoot, guess what? Guess what De'Aaron Fox is going to do more than what he's ever done? He's going to draw more double teams, you guys. He's going to draw more double teams, okay, because of his quickness, because of his threat in the mid-range area. And then, again, I know y'all guys are going to look at me like I'm crazy, but Russell Westbrook's a name who I'm getting ready to bring up real quick. And why? Because think about it, you guys, with De'Aaron Fox and Russell Westbrook, almost kind of like, not the same player. Their game's a little different, but one thing that is the same is their athleticism and their speed and their quickness. Make no mistake about that. And as I'm getting ready to see on the screen, think about how Russell Westbrook is thriving in Denver right now, how the Nuggets are having success with Russell Westbrook. We know Nikola Jokic, the best big man in the game, especially when it's back to the basket in that post where he has it up high. Y'all guys know what I'm saying, where Jokic keeps that ball up high. He's looking to play, make with his eyes, and make overhead skip passes and stuff. And how many times y'all guys can see on the screen how many times y'all see Russell Westbrook, the moment he dishes that ball off in the post to the Joker, we see Russell Westbrook immediately off that action attack the basket, attack the rim, I'm over, cutter. We see him do that so many times, and what Jokic is able to do with his vision at being down low, when that double team comes, it allows Jokic to be able to dish the ball to Russell Westbrook and be able to get it to him in the low post where he's comfortable at, and Russell Westbrook now has an open layup. Well, same thing. If I'm the San Antonio Spurs, and rather when Greg Popovich comes back or not, I'll be telling them, it'd be important. I like to take that page out of Denver's playbook, because now it makes us dangerous. I like to take that page out their playbook, because now, like I said, you guys, now we're interchangeable. Now you gotta defend because at the end of the day, nobody wants to cover Victor Wembanyama one-on-one. That's a dead man walking. You might as well go ahead and give him the 2 points. And they sure don't want to. You sure don't want to defend De'Aaron Fox coming downhill. So it's very important that the Spurs are gonna be able to have to get De'Aaron Fox moving without the basketball, get him on some off-ball movement, get him on some cutting situations, to be able to really take advantage of Victor Wembanyama, who's a decent passer, who can find him, dish it to him quickly, and it makes offense easier. It makes playing the game of basketball easier, because you're not so reluctant on having to run an offense. I got to follow what I'm saying, to have to run a play. It makes it a lot easier on everybody. So that's the part I really like in itself for De'Aaron Fox. He's gonna bring the Spurs. He's gonna have them drive more to the basket, and they're gonna be more of an attacking team. And not only that, they're gonna be dangerous in the two-man game, also known as the pick and roll game between Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox, off the ball and on the ball. And the same for Victor Wembanyama. And Victor Wembanyama, as much as a roller as Victor is, you guys, make no mistake, he's one great roller. He's a great roller of the basketball. But one thing Victor Wembanyama is even more of that, you guys. Don't forget about his ability to pick and pop. Don't forget about his ability to pick and pop either in the game. Don't forget about the fake the roll and pop out in the perimeter. And we just seen him at that one pass, and Victor strokes it from deep. And we see that all the time, you guys. So we know all's going to be great for that Spurs team. Make no mistake about that. But now I want to switch real quick and get ready to talk for the Kings real quick, because we all know the Kings had just received Zach LaVine. As we all know, the Kings, Zach LaVine and his former teammate DeMar DeRozan, they're going to be teaming back up again over there in Sacramento. And you guys, so first I want to start off saying this for that one right there. Again, remember when I told you guys, this is why good teams always remain good and bad teams remain bad, you guys. This is why I was saying that, because you guys, think about it. This, first of all, we all know this is basically the Chicago Bulls. The Kings are basically the Chicago Bulls on a new team. I mean, how smart is it to pair Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan back together after they played 3 years together in Chicago and it did not work out? What? And now you're putting them back. Keep in mind, I like the Kings team as a roster. They're not, right now the Kings, they're the 8th seed in the West right now, as you guys can see. They're the 8th seed in the West. So they're having a superb season. If the playoffs were to start right now, they'll have to still play in the play-in to have any hopes of getting in the postseason. But you guys, you look at the roster, Keegan Murray, their first-round draft pick 2 years ago. I like him. Okay, I like Malik Monk still. I like Domantas Sabonis, an all-star player. Okay, Davion Mitchell. But Zach LaVine is an elite scorer. Make no mistake about that. But you got a player who's worse than De'Aaron Fox. Way worse. I'm not saying way worse, but Zach LaVine is really just as simple as Zach LaVine. What I don't like about him, he doesn't play no defense. He needs the ball. He's ball dominant. He needs the ball in his hands to be effective. And he really sometimes he's kind of lackadaisical. Sometimes running up and down the floor. When it's not going his way. One of those kind of guys. De'Aaron Fox is a guy who's going to give you his 100% effort all day, every day. Make no mistake about that. He's going to give you his all, and he's going to hustle. He can move off the ball. You can put him on off-ball screens, off-ball movement. You can't do that with no guy like Zach LaVine unless you're putting him in an off-ball movement to come off the screen and shoot. What is he going to as far as what Zach LaVine's going to provide to your team other than just scoring the basketball? Not really much. You guys are seeing what I'm saying? Not really much. So that's why, and then not only that, both guys, and even though De'Aaron Fox, this is year 8 for him, both guys been in the league for about the same duration of time. They both only have 1 playoff appearances in their span. But y'all guys know the difference in those playoff appearances, though? Y'all guys want to know the difference? Well, let me tell y'all guys something about De'Aaron Fox. We all know De'Aaron Fox only playoff games. It was in 2022-2023 season when they played against the Golden State Warriors, the reigning defending champions, the Golden State Warriors at that time in that round 1 game. And y'all guys, in that whole series, you guys, De'Aaron Fox averaged 27. He averaged 27, 5, and 8. 27, 5, and 8. And had 38 points in his debut, and had 38 points in game 1, which is the second most points first-time player has had in a debut playoff game. 38 points in his first ever playoff game in that series, and almost beat Golden State. But it took Steph Curry going off for, we all know, the unanimous 50 ball for them to win. We all know. But you guys. And then Zach LaVine, his first and last and only so far playoff game came in 2022. So he was swept. And you know what he averaged? He didn't look like the same Zach LaVine. He only put up 19 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 6 assists per game. And again, like I said, was swept. So that lets you know, you guys, the Spurs absolutely robbed the Kings. They robbed the Kings and robbed Chicago, but mainly robbed the Kings. Like I said, the Kings are getting worse, and the Spurs are now on the horizon now. Now they have a team. Now they have a squad. And Zach LaVine is still in the middle of his prime. I mean, not Zach LaVine. De'Aaron Fox is still in the middle of his prime. You guys, I really like this trade for the Spurs. If only they weren't the 12th seed, they're going to have a lot of ground to make up and a lot of work to do. But with those two guys right there, this is going to be that's going to be scary. Everybody better watch out. Everybody better get out the way, because this is going to be scary right here. And this is what I said. And I love Chris Paul. I believe Chris Paul is going to be a great mentor for De'Aaron Fox. But when you have that generational piece, when you have that guy, Victor Wembanyama, he's trying to win now. You're trying to capitalize now on the opportunity in the window that you have. You're not trying to wait, down the line. You're not trying to, get in all that extended amount of time. You want to go ahead and take care of business and go ahead and win now and put the pieces in place now. And so far, again, I say that's what the Spurs have did, especially having to give up Zach Collins, Trey Jones, some nobodies, and then picks that weren't even theirs. Again, they didn't really even have to spend their money. They didn't even have to spend their money. They spent somebody else's money. So that makes it even better, too. Makes this trade better for the Spurs. But no doubt about it, the Spurs won this trade for me. And now my question for you guys, I want to ask you guys, out of so far the trades that we have so far, of course, we just had recent news that, Chris Middleton out of there. Chris Middleton has just been traded for the Milwaukee Bucks. A long-term Milwaukee Buck, Chris Middleton, has just been traded from the Bucks to the Washington Wizards. Y'all guys let me know if y'all want to hear a video on that. But so far, between the Lakers landed Luka Doncic, the Mavericks landed Anthony Davis, and the Spurs landed De'Aaron Fox to go alongside Victor Wembanyama. And then, of course, the Kings landed Zach LaVine to go alongside Domantas Sabonis. Who won the trade so far? Which team has improved the most out of those 4 teams, you guys? Y'all guys let me know in the comment section down below which team looked like they vastly improved the most. And y'all guys let me know, will the Spurs are the Spurs on track to being a playoff team now? Can they still save their season? Can they still pull their season together and get on track to be a playoff team? Because when you give up, when you got a guy like Fox, man, like I said, he's gonna initiate a lot of stuff within that offense, and of course he's gonna be a pest on defense, poking balls away and all that good stuff. So I like this trade. I like this move. I definitely give it a flat out A for the San Antonio Spurs, a B- for the Kings, and then as far as for the Bulls, a C flat, not just getting some role guys and stuff like that. Maybe they have some other moves coming, maybe they don't. Like I said, I guess we'll find out. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's video, you guys. Y'all guys let me know, did the Spurs improve the roster? And now they make a legitimate run for the postseason now with the new addition of De'Aaron Fox. And yeah, you guys, and y'all guys let me know what y'all want to hear next in the comment section down below. And I will see y'all on the next episode on Shooting for the Stars podcast, you guys, with y'all's one and only host, Cameron Williams.